Katigo man in the house, right there, with his beautiful bike. Let me pull gas real quick. Do I record so much and then I only use a little bit, you know? You got the GoPro yet?
Won't come until Thursday.
You would think I'll learn how to pull gas one day. The problem with this is that I hear you, but people won't hear you. Nice helmet. Yeah, I saw a helmet the other day. It's from Simpson, I think it is. And it has like an American flag. And it's like blacked out. Man, it was gorgeous. I can't wait for my bars. Man, that back tire's epic. Like, it's big. I definitely got to figure out how to record, man. Like your voice, because I think it will be cool. Oh, man. Check this out. All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. I got Katigo man back there riding. And look at this. Look at this. This is gorgeous. And, you know, this is one of those things that we got to give thanks to those that have made the ultimate sacrifice, because, I mean, they gave everything so we could do this. And I'm so grateful to live in an amazing country. I know Katigo man is as well back there. He's serving the Marines, infantryman, hoorah. And and we got to figure out how to record his voice. I don't know if the voice is coming over the mic or not, but we will figure it out so we could do some cool videos and things like that. But look at this, man. It was supposed to rain, and we were like, a screw it, you know, Marines are amphibious, so we're just gonna go for a ride, because that's just what we do, right? And look at this bike right there. Oh yeah. If you're not aware, this is Flagler Beach, and this is just a beautiful place. I come here with my family all the time, really all the time. There's like a nice little ice cream place back here that we go, and if you ever come here, definitely go to the Golden Lion. Like, they sell like a pound of shrimp, and Stacy tears that up every single time. She loves it. We literally sit up there and have a great time. Look at the beach. I mean, it's just a beautiful day, and you know, we're just gonna enjoy it, guys. This Memorial Weekend, to me, and I know to Katigo man as well, you know, we know people that have died in combat, and it just sucks. I never can find the words to literally express my feelings when it comes to this. So I'm gonna leave it at that, but I know that I'm just grateful, my family's grateful, and we're just grateful to live in such an amazing country where we got people that, you know, would die to protect our freedoms. To me, that's just amazing. I'm gonna come on your left. So we're gonna take a right. We're gonna head up all the way up to Crescent Beach. Then we're gonna take a left, and maybe US1, come back home, and hopefully we don't get wet. Hopefully. Maybe a highly possibility that we will, but we will see. Yeah. Yeah. You think it's gonna hold the bike? Yeah. Nice and slow, dude. Let me hold it real quick. Let me turn my camera on. Careful right here. Got to go Main's bike right here. Oh man, you got it dirty, bro. Anybody know what this is? Let me know in the comment section below. This thing is fast. Nah, that thing is huge, man. 114 versus 88. Cow. Fast. Fast. Cow. Alright, let's get out of here. Always got to be really careful with this gravel on the floor. And also, what kind of shoes are you wearing? Because some shoes are, you know, have more traction, so you could control it more. Some of the shoes don't. I was just talking to Dustin, and we were talking about, I was just telling him a couple guys that we know that unfortunately, you know, died. And crazy thing is that one of the Marines, his name was First Sergeant Mercadante, and he was a square away Marine, just very intense Marine. You know, he was in the drill field, and he was a drill instructor, which, you know, obviously is a privilege, right? To be able to make Marines. Not only you're a Marine, but you make Marines. Look at what this beautiful place. Wow. The crazy thing is that when I talked to him, the last time I saw him, he was part of a unit called CLB 24, Combat Logistics Battalion 24, and he was going to Afghanistan. And the crazy thing is that, you know, or not the crazy thing, but he was so square away that he was the battalion sergeant major and he was the first sergeant. So again, you know, as a first sergeant, to be acting as battalion sergeant major is impressive. You know, that's just to show you that very, very square away Marine. And I remember talking to him right before he went on deployment, because I was part of a unit called CLB 22. So at that time in the Marine Corps, they had a 22, 24, and 26. And all those battalions provide a service to the MU, which is Marine Expeditionary Unit. So to keep it simple for some of you guys, when you go on a ship, right, obviously the Navy drives the ship, but the unit that is there is a Marine Expeditionary Unit, and it's composed by different elements. One of the elements is CLB. Obviously, there's air element. Obviously, there's an infantry element and things like that, right? That's very different for some of you salty old dogs. Maybe you're like, oh, it wasn't like that when I was in the Corps. That kind of changed. And for what I know, or all I know right now, it could have changed again. I don't know. But again, you know, he was the CLB Battalion Sergeant Major, and I remember talking to him, and I remember saying, you know, have a great deployment, First Sergeant. I see you, yada yada yada. We talked for a little bit, and we know each other because when I worked as a military policeman on the military police unit that I was part of, he was the company First Sergeant. So again, I worked with him in that unit, and then I saw him again, you know, sometime after that, right before he went on deployment. And he got killed, right? And it's unfortunately that happened. But the crazy thing is that years later, I met Dustin, and Dustin was in the Marine Corps as well. And First Sergeant Mercadante was Dustin's drill instructor. I mean, that's crazy. The guy was his drill instructor. And, you know, many years later, I worked with him, you know, or I worked for him because he was my boss, right? I'm going to tell you, you know, Marines, I mean, you got to love it. Some of those guys truly love it. You know, I did as a Marine. And many of them just love it. They just love it. I mean, they do it with love. It's like, I tell my wife many times, I was like, I can't believe they paid me for this. You know, I just couldn't believe it. It was mind-blowing that I get paid to do this, because I tell you, you know, Marines love the Corps. If you ever meet a Marine that hates the Corps, he was not a good Marine. It is what it is. But he was probably not a good Marine. He probably got in trouble because Marines usually, 99.9% of the time, they just love it. Love it. When they get out, they talk about it all the time. There was another individual that I remember today that passed away and he was a sergeant, and he was my squad leader back in 2003 for a little bit, Sergeant Farrar. And he was a big dude, like really big dude. I ain't talking fat. I mean, the guy was like solid. And 2004, I believe, he passed. He actually stepped in a power line when he was in a patrol. I wasn't there. I was deployed with him at a time, but again, I wasn't there as, you know, in that mission right there. I mean, he left a couple kids, and it's just unfortunate. It's really hard sometimes to talk about these things. This is where Harley's going. Very traditional, very non-traditional right here. This is A18 right there. This road is just gorgeous. Really, really beautiful. Obviously, it's raining right now, but usually it's just such a beautiful ride. Oh yeah, we're getting wet already. It is what it is. Oh yeah. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You know, it's crazy with this crisis and everything that happened, because like everything has been so upside down. You know, people at this point, or a lot of groups will be doing group rides, and you know, there will be ceremonies and all that. And I think there was one in my city that was taking place, but even though it's not to the full potential, there's still people riding. You guys seeing bikes passing by and all that stuff. So, you know, you gotta love that. People are like, well, whatever, you know, I'm gonna go for a ride. If I get a little wet, I get a little wet. It is what it is. This guy's like brake checking me. This morning when I got out and I left the house, I have my middle son Lorenzo open the garage, and my garage door thing is not working, so he just opened the garage for me. And today I talked to him about it. You know, he was like, happy Memorial Day. And yesterday when we were having dinner, we were talking about it as well, and just talking about how important it is to remember this day, you know. And I told him, you know, this is the day that we remember those that made that ultimate sacrifice. Not really dad or, you know, veterans that have served. Obviously not really that, you know. That's why we have Veterans Day. This is specifically for those guys, you know, the guys that gave everything. And, you know, it's important to tell our children, because this new generation sometimes is kind of going out there. You know, there's a lot of nonsense going on nowadays in our country, right? And a lot of times we tend to blame the new generation, when in all reality, it is the old generation responsibility to teach them, right? And a couple brothers right here that sees the way. Oh, yeah, we got to wave. And again, you know, it's our generation responsibility to teach them. It's our generation responsibility to pass down values. You know, whatever values you have. In my case, you know, we're passing values of God. We're passing values of family. We're passing values of working hard. You know, we don't need nothing for free. We could work for our stuff. We're passing values to serve our country, serve our community, do the right thing when no one is watching. That's a good one right there. Do the right thing when no one is watching. So again, you know, a lot of times we tend to blame the new generation, you know, all these new kids. All they do is play video games, when in all reality, it's our job to teach them, right? Again, you know, my kids play video games, but take the time to teach them about important things in life, how to be a man, you know. And I tell my boys all the time, it's okay if you don't like me, right? It's okay if you don't like me, but I tell you what, while you live in my house, you will do good things. It's just not going to mix. It's not, bad things and me are not going to mix. You know, I have expectations that they got to meet, and they will meet those expectations. Man, the only bad thing about this is that, you know, we've been getting stuck behind vehicles every now and then. But anyways, I hope you guys are having a great Memorial weekend. I hope you guys, you know, just have a great day. You know, a lot of times we forget this. People say it's not about the barbecue. It's not about this. Obviously, it's not. But you know what? Those guys made that sacrifice so we can enjoy our life. So we could go for a ride. So we could go and have a barbecue. So we could enjoy our freedom. So yes, enjoy your barbecue. Yes, enjoy your riding. And remember them. That's it. It's that simple. Anyways, my Cena is acting up. It can't connect, but I'm going to call Tactical Man. He's back there. So we could talk for a little bit because it's raining and it's good to have communication. Maybe I'll do a video about communication one day. But I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more videos. And as always, God is in control.